Hey y'all whole sleep? Well, if not, get in here. What up? What up? What up? You know what, D Star? Don't give me too much because see what you're not gonna do is sit here and come for me. Yep, I sure was on Color People Time because I had to sit here and change outfits because my nuts was hurting from them damn tight ass shorts. So you're right. I'm on Color People Time. I apologize. Hey, Silent. Being late, being you say this your first time being at work viewing six, say it better be a good show. Well, I mean, I try to, as far as please the people and whatnot and all of that good stuff. Hey, what's going on, Lakeisha? What's going on, D Star? What's going on, everyone? What up, what up, what up with you? What up, what up, what up with you? What up, what up, what up with you? But first, though, I want to sit here and play a little song just to get me sit here in the mood and things like that. Get me in the mood. Draws to the side, them draws to the side, them draws hey, to the hey. Side, them draws to the 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 side. Uh-oh, hold on. Make that pussy squirt. Be a freaking flirt. Show them how you work. All you gotta do is handle your business. LA fitness. Only work they pocket. Show them how you drop some profit. It's all about the money, girl. Pussy rule the world. Do what you gotta do. Make that money. Don't let it make you drugs to the side. Hey. Open your pussy wide. You can have it all, but you gotta take off the drawers. Then slide up and down the pole. Go for what you know. If you get this dough, then make this hey. No, she wanna try it. She don't really think looking enticing. She wanna join my team, but she's scared to try it. Gotta lick a license. Look at how she like it. Lick. Oh, that shit exciting. Make up with your climax. Gotta call Usher climax. It's okay. We all like. It's okay. Hey. 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 Yeah, it's one time for your mind. Come on through. Woo. All right, y'all. Enough of all that foolishness. Enough of all of that foolishness here. Wait a minute. Silence. Eugene said that his dog looking at me with his eyes covered. Look, I just thought I would give y'all a little show. That's all. A little show something. A little is what it is. So let me just see and give a couple of shout outs. What's going on, Xavier? What's going on, Charlotte Means? What's going on, Alex? What's going on, Lakeisha? Silent X Radio, Rachel, D-Star. Y'all in here heavy tonight. All right, then. What's going on? So anyway, let me just go back up, pull this camera back up, honey. I got me up here like I'm in the damn OnlyFans. All right, y'all can see me good. So this is the after show. My good sis Savon just did her show. And I'm just going, as far as keep it, cute and classy. There's nothing really too serious. I just wanted to see and get on here and chat with y'all. Be sure you like, share, subscribe to this video, all of that good shit. And I wanted to dive right into my first subject. So for all of you may know, I am a bisexual male. For people that may not know, yes, I started off as a bottom. It's no secret there. I started off taking dick, all that good stuff and everything. And then as time progressed, I got a taste of this, got a taste of that. And I said, bitch, you know what? Bitch, you more capable of shit than you think you are. So, comes to find out, who would have thought? I like dick and ass and everything else in between. So, I mean, that just is what it is. Just keeping it 100% real with you. So, with that being said, this is the Storytime After Show. And I'm just going to give y'all a couple of my, personal story times. And, just share with y'all some things and whatnot. So, first thing I want to start off with is, for those of you who are out there in the audience, I want to ask the question to y'all. For all of my men, let me just start with my men. For all of you out there, let me just drop the link also, because I forgot to drop the link for anybody that may want to come in, or if you want to, as far as come in, or if you want to come in and give your response. But for all of you out there, as far as my men, as far as the men are concerned, do you prefer a male that's one or the other as far as in terms of sexual position, or do you prefer a versatile male? And if so, what is the reason behind it? Do you prefer somebody that's versatile because of the fact that, they can do one or two more things, or is it because of the fact that, you may be dominant and you want to be able to have full control of shit? Like, what is your preference? What is your preference when it comes to in the bedroom, and why? I want to know the reason why behind it, because we always ask top, bottom, and versatile. What is the reason why? What is it that triggers you, that turns you on as far as with that? And I'm just sitting here looking at the comments. So if you see me looking down, you'll know why. Waiting on y'all. I want to know, and for those that may be joining, my question is, and I'm just going to give you my input while I wait to see your comments. Okay, so I see somebody responded, but let me just tell you what my preference. So as of right now, I consider myself to be a versatile man. The reason why is because I do enjoy receiving head. I feel like that there's more pleasure for me in receiving head than giving head, because it's just all about something about seeing that man down there, in between my legs, honey. You know how when you got that man down there and he in between your legs, and stuff like that, and sometimes you can sit here and take and you can wrap it around. It's just something about seeing that man down there just go to town. It's something about that just gets me riled up. So, that's why I don't consider myself just one, because, normally when people think of bottom, they don't think of people that receive head. But I've actually always enjoyed receiving head. To me, it just feels good. It makes me feel like I'm in control. It just gives me this aggression that pours out of me. It brings out Trent, my alter ego. It's just something about it that does for me. Now, as far as when it comes to penetration, I will say that as a person that started out as a bottom, I, it didn't really. I'm drinking on lemonade. Drinking on lemonade, y'all. Y'all know I'm trying to lay off the alcohol. I used to drink Stella Rosa. It's my choice of alcohol, but I'm laying off the alcohol. But as far as the penetration part, I just honestly, I never really sit here and got off with somebody sitting here actually. Like, you got to know what you're doing when you talking to somebody. Like, you can't just think that because you got a big piece that you just about to sit here and just be doing a damn thing. There's a finesse when it comes to talking to somebody. Like, you got to know positions. You got to understand what that person's position is. What really like gets them, like, as far as in the moment. There's a lot that goes into talking. You just can't be out here just putting the Titanic in somebody and thinking that you just gonna put it down and that's just all it is to it. It comes to more than that. But let me get into some of these comments though. So I saw here, let me go back up. Let's see. I'm going back up to your comments, y'all. Evolution Vell, what's going on? He said, damn, I log in. The first thing I hear is I start taking. Okay, so Xavier Soul, and for those who may not know, Xavier Soul is actually he's married, happily in a relationship with his husband Eugene. That's also on here. I am Eugene, and Xavier Soul says no limits. Verse life is a good life. Okay, all right then. Come on for the verse life. So you like to flip it, y'all like to flip each other in the bedroom and everything. Well, like I said, and let me also give this disclaimer before I go any further. Y'all keep talking about them damn chicks I can't see here in cash. Like I said, get at me, because I'm in Atlanta too. One time for your mind. And I ain't gonna never say never, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Now, with that being said, Eugene says I had to give my husband some mandatory ass before he said I do. Okay, you had to give your husband some mandatory ass before he said I do. So, Eugene, let me ask you the question. The reason why you say that you had to give your husband some mandatory ass, was it because of the fact that he wasn't going to sit here and marry you if you did not? Or was it that, you just wanted to sit here and, like, be able to know what you was getting into, like, as far as, well, I guess to let him know what he was getting into literally before y'all got married? That's what I want to know. That's the question I got for you. Rachel says, I want to feel like I'm being fucked like a female in them pornos, period. Yes, come on, Rachel. That's what I'm talking about. Just dog it out, honey. Just sit here, put the damn leg up. Honey, just sit here and go crazy with it. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, then, come through, Rachel. Yes, I know you like you for some reason. Charlotte Mary, I told you I'm drinking lemonade. Let's see here. Open wider. In between your legs and your butt. Let's see. Uh, let's see here. Question. I'm contacting the YouTube authorities. Okay, that's fine. You can D-Star. Let's see. Evolution of Vell says, oh shit. Verse all day because I like to take control and occasionally I like to give in and be vulnerable to let a masculine man take control of me intimately. So you know what? This right here, this is what I like about as far as people perspective on things, because it lets me know what runs through their mind. I like his perspective. He says verse all day because I like to take control and occasionally I like to give in and be vulnerable and be vulnerable to let a masculine man take control of me intimately. And see, that's what it's all about. It's all about relinquishing control. You ain't always got to be in control all the time. It ain't always got to see and be about you being in control. Let that man sit here and take control. Let's go for ladies and gents. Let that man sit here and throw you across the room, okay? One good time. Let that man sit here and flip you up, honey. Let him just flip them legs up. It ain't all about sitting here taking control on one time. You sometimes you just gotta, you gotta share the table. You gotta share the table. That's what it's all about. I like that. So Silent X Radio, aka, which I'm gonna assume to be either Eugene or Xavier. Trent is my alter ego. Trent is the man that is I would say, Trent is my sexual being behind Tristan. That's the one that does not have any restraints, that's the one that, gets me in trouble because, that's my inner Scorpio. And, for people that may not know who Scorpios are, we are very sensual, very, freaks of nature. Trent is more of my, draws to the side. Trent, hold on, let me get a shot. Trent is more of my draws to the side, He's more of my draws to the side. Draws to the side. Draws to the side. That's what Trent is. Trent's more the draws to the side. That's what Trent is. Just to let you know who Trent. Just to let you know who Trent is. Honey, I done see him drop my damn folic acid on the floor and shit. Okay. And my damn headset going dead. How long, y'all? My headset going dead. Let me take it out. All right, here we go. Okay, so back to the comments. So Rachel says Trent is Mr. Yes, Trent is definitely Mr. D-Star, don't do that. Wait a minute. Trent is his alter ego. Yes, Alex, you know me very well. Let's see here. D-Star just said before, I'll be the judge and jury in the case of Trey being the best. All right, then. Let's see. All right, Trent. Them thighs looking big at work. Yes, come on for thighs. It's all of that country. It's all of that country eating that I've been doing. That's what it is. It's all of them damn cornbread fed. And eating them damn Roman noodles late at night, which I'm about to go fix me a bowl as soon as I get off here. That's what it is. That's why I've been so thick and things like that. But yeah, you see them thighs though. You saw them thighs at the beginning. Y'all saw it. Y'all saw what it was giving. All right, so cornbread, yes, cornbread. All right, so now let me focus. Back to my next thing. So I got into the question about, we was talking about people that may not have, as far as being in here early, we was talking about as far as what is your sexual position, and if so, why? Now, my next question I pose is, while we're on the topic of when it comes to in the bedroom, the question I want to know is, why is it that guys who are tops or claim to be fully strict tops always got such a problem with not wanting their asshole touched? They don't want their, even with heterosexual guys, let's just make it more of a broad range. Even with heterosexual guys, let's talk about that. Why is it that men don't want you to play around in that area? Is it that it makes them feel like they're more feminine, more vulnerable? Is it just a sense, like, why is it? I need somebody to help me understand, because when I first had my my little hole back there and everything, tainted with it and all that good stuff, I honestly, y'all, before I started, as far as being penetrated, I felt kind of violated. I was like, wait a minute, bitch, is you licking me or is you sitting here raping me? What's going on? Am I being violated? Do I need to call the cops? Because I didn't know, like, it was just a shock. I had never had it done. And it took me a couple of tries with different men to actually grasp the full enjoyment of it. So, even with as a bottom, I've always been kind of funny when it comes to somebody playing around my whole back there. Hey, Rachel.
Hey, Mr. Shape. What's good?
What up? They
Girl, I see you getting that body right.
Yes, trying to get this body. You see it? You see this body?
I see it, girl. I see it.
You see this body? Hold on, let me stand up one time. Let me stand up.
Come on.
See this body?
I saw thighs, girl, and I saw some cake too.
You saw these thighs?
Okay, yeah.
You saw these thighs?
She did a little. She glowing up. Yeah.
That's what you're saying. All right, so I was asking the question. Let me see what the comments see him reading here. Hold on a sec. I gotta go back to my comments.
So you say you like your booty hole,
Well, I was talking. Well, hold on. He said he need a man here have some. Hold on. He said he need a man here have come more ass. Have come more ass for sure. Okay. I think I read it.
He has some more ass for sure. Oh yeah. If you had a man.
So yeah, because I asked him the question about, he said that he had to give him some ass, before they got married. I wanted to know the question to that. So that's his response to it. So okay, I see you. But what I was saying is that, when I first started out with the whole sex thing, I didn't really know how I felt about having somebody to play with my hoe because, it just felt like somebody was tickling me, bitch. And I felt like I was being molested. So I had to sit here and be like, hold on, wait a minute. I don't think this is how this is supposed to feel. So it took a couple of tries for me to get comfortable with somebody tossing my salad, per se, is what I'm trying to get at.
So it tickled.
Yeah, it tickled and it just felt wet in the wrong sense. I don't know. It just felt really awkward. But it, like I said, it took a couple of tries with, different guys for me to actually get to the point of where, or whatnot. But the main question that I went back to was that why do some men feel like people that claim to be tops, or you may hear a heterosexual, complete straight man say, I don't want nobody touching my asshole. And so I was trying to get back into why people feel that way. And I see Xavier seeing him coming that they the first to toot it and boot it. That is true. I think that a lot of people who claim that, they don't like nobody to be back there and playing around in their hole, be the first ones on the down low, be legs spread wide open, honey. Legs spread wide open and hands and legs behind your head and everything else. They be the first ones to be doing all that shit, carrying on. I do definitely agree with that, Xavier. Definitely agree with that. Hold on. He said, why my drawers on backwards? First of all, hold on a second.
Oh yeah,
my drawers are not on backwards, Eugene. And
there was a debate in the comments.
Say what?
There was some debate in the comments about that.
What's my drawers on backwards?
Girl, yes. Are they on backwards?
No, they're not. So look, let me show you. Since they
the tag on the outside, because on the back, the tramp.
You know what? It's because I got on two pairs, I think. Probably. Maybe that's what it is. I'm looking in the camera, in the other camera.
Put your back to the camera. Let me see.
But these are not. These. It's probably the ones that are underneath here are on backwards. So the reason why. Oh, they are on backwards, bitch. I didn't know. I'm sorry, y'all. Well, here, let me fix that. I can fix that on camera because I got the drawers on up underneath. Hold on, y'all.
Oh, I think I saw a lip.
Thank you for reminding me. I didn't know him. Shit. My bad. Okay, there we go.
Hello, shake.
There we go. Are you happy? Are y'all happy now? I got him.
Okay, he did it right now, y'all.
Okay. All right.
Yes, come on, Tristan.
Okay, let's see here.
I mean, Trent. Come on, Trent.
Yes, come on, Trent. If he mad, 6'8". If he mad a man. Hold on. If he mad a man, damn, move out the way. Hold on. Pick a time. My damn computer trying to start itself. Okay, he said if he mad a man, 6'8" definitely would have more ass for sure. Oh, all right then. Well, all right. I hear you, Eugene. Tickle me, Elmo. You're properly clean or shaved. Hold on. Were you properly clean? Oh, he said, well, I'm properly clean. So to answer your question, so I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. The first time I dushed, bitch, it was a tragedy. It was a complete tragedy. First of all, I think one of the mistakes that I made was that I didn't let the water. You know how when you I guess you gotta let the water. Like I was laying on my bathroom floor, right? So when you let the water, I guess you're supposed to run the warm water, whatever, let it, clean out, get inside, so you can let everything,
break up the particles.
But see, what it was is that I don't think everything had disposed correctly, bitch. I don't think everything had disposed correctly. Like, I think it was still water left up in there. Yes, bitch. Yes. And it was my first ever time. Now, prior to that, in response to Eugene's question, yes, I was clean properly because prior to that, I didn't really sit here as far as do all of that because, I make sure I eat, high fiber diet. And when I took a shower, you take you a rag and you get up in that hole and you just, you make sure, You stick that finger all up. I mean, you stick it way up in there, honey. You stick it up in there till you can't no more, until it won't go no more. And you just make sure make sure it's real soapy now. Get you a real soapy finger and stick it up in there. You know, you make sure that everything is clean and properly, you know, and good. And then you'll be good to go. High five or die. That's what I was doing. And I ain't never had no issues. So this first time, you know, because y'all got to keep in mind, I didn't start having sex until 2007. So I probably was like 20. So I'm 31 now. So like 20. So, you know, I kind of came into the game late and shit. And so because of that, like I said, when I first started, as far as like the dish thing, I got it completely wrong because nobody sit here and taught me. So, bitch, I thought I was clean. Long story short, needless to say, that night, that the reason why I had did that, and that night that led to, you know, me doing the act. Let's just say that one time hit too many, and it was Mona Lisa, and I'm gonna leave it at that. So, lesson learned.
So was you making a painting?
I mean, I'm just saying, it was Mona Lisa painting the Picasso. Y'all, I was so embarrassed, like embarrassed that here I am thinking like, bitch, I'm taking extra precaution, bitch. No, you not, because bitch, you done sit here and damn did a whole painting of Picasso, bitch. You done sit here and got carried away. And you know how you know when some shit ain't right, because bitch, you feel that when that man hit you at a certain angle, and bitch, you just all of a sudden it's like you feel I don't know, you feel it as a bottom, you know when some shit ain't right. Like, you know when some shit going on, like literally. And so I was like, wait, stop. Too late, child. Too late. Now, the good part is that the person that I was with, because we was already talking and, you know, as far as like establishing all that good shit, he didn't really get offended by it. We laughed it off and we still joke about it. Even when I do talk to him, I'm like, hey, you remember that time that basically I painted you? Y'all like, yeah, I mean, like, let's just keep it 100. It happened. Okay. I'm just gonna say I'm being 1,000. I ain't trying to send hot shit. Yes, it happened, y'all, because I damn do it strong. So yeah, that was that whole story time there. But can't believe I just said it. I can't believe I just said it on camera. But okay, so evolution of Vell said it's that hyper masculine bullshit, the equate assplay with being gay or bottom, which for some reason is considered inferior, but I don't agree with the narrative. Definitely do.
So that's funny because I'm married to a female, and that actually plays into our sexual endeavors.
It plays into it because you're more like you're with like you give off the woman and stuff like that. It plays more into the sexual like experience and stuff like that because he's like, you know, he's giving you the more masculine dominant energy, and you know you're able to get into your mood more. Is that what you're trying to say?
Actually, the opposite, because I'm actually married to a female, and so
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. How did I not know this? What the fuck I've been in,
girl?
Hold on.
Just because you ignore me, you don't accept my friend request, and you never want to accept my invites to private chat.
Look.
I'm just kidding.
You tried it. You know what? You do send invites. You also send invites during the days I be seeing him working in the daytime, bitch. I be seeing him trying to get them dollars. But I actually did send your friend request when I got off here, so I'm definitely gonna accept your friend request on Facebook. But we follow each other, if I'm not mistaken, on Instagram.
Yeah, I know.
But how did I not know this, Rachel?
Mr. Girl, yes.
Okay, that's a whole nother conversation.
That's why I always live for the whole bisexual conversations that you be putting out, because I'm like,
yeah. Okay. So you are okay. So you're like what is your sexual orientation?
So my sexual orientation or preference, because I'm married, is just my wife right now. But before that, you know, it was before I met her, I was gay. Okay.
Yeah. And so when you met her, how does she feel? Well, hold on, pin that, because I want to get into that. Pin that.
Well, I can't give you everything because you know why? I'm gonna be on Silent X Radio and I can't say too much.
Okay, when is it coming out? Because I want to watch, because I need to understand.
July 8th.
The question that I want to know, and you don't have to answer it right now, But the question I want to know is that being that we see how you are on camera, you know, and this is something that I've had people to attack me about because they're like, oh, well, you know, he's giving all this, you know, feminine energy off. So there's no way the fuck he can see him be bisexual, let alone straight. So I want to know if Silent X Radio, if that question is going to be answered, I'm definitely tuning in because I can relate to that part. That's the part that I want to know about.
Yes, well, Silent X Radio, July 8th, we launching on Chi-Chi's birthday, period. And we gonna get into some things. And Gina, my wife, will be on it as well.
You said what date?
July 8th.
July 8th. Y'all heard that. July 8th. Okay. July 8th, y'all get into it. I'm gonna be on there. I'm gonna be watching. Yes. And what time?
I don't know the time, but I will say this. The whole talking about like what evolution of Vell said is that hypermasculine BS, you know? Mm-hmm. You equate the assplay with being gay or a bottom. And I actually do that because I don't want Gina to go down there to my brown eye.
Okay. So is it? Hold on. So the reason why you don't want her to go down is just because you feel some like it makes you feel weird, or is it just like?
Yeah, it's that masculine energy because I'm with my wife. It's like I'm a top,
right?
So there's no me bottoming at all, like nothing. So it's
I gotta watch that interview because I just got so many thoughts in my head. Like I'm so glad.
We're gonna get into some things.
Yeah, I gotta watch that.
Look out, go to Silent X Radio on Instagram, follow them and set your reminders, girl. It's coming out.
And you said at what time again?
Well, I don't know the time.
Okay.
But it'll be July 8th.
July 8th. Okay. I'm gonna watch it. Silent X Radio, Eugene, Xavier. I got y'all. Okay.
They doing some big things over there, child.
Xavier says he's a professional cake watcher. Yep. No, you think? I definitely picked up on that part. He said, okay, talk about eating. Okay. So yeah, y'all got the story about because he wanted to know was I properly cleaned the first time because he was talking about eating. That's what it was about. Okay, so let me go to the next comment. I was all sidetracked, honey. There you have your answer. It's not being ate right at first. Eugene, I definitely do agree. My first experience, I don't think he really knew what he was doing because the second one definitely kind of turned me out. And I'm gonna be honest, even though the second one kind of turned me out, Eugene, I still don't really feel. I feel more insecure when a man is eating me out. I know that sounds crazy, y'all.
Really?
But yeah, because it just, I don't know. It's just that people have this whole perception of me that because I'm tall, that I'm supposed to be of a certain, as far as a standard when it comes to in the bedroom. And I don't think people really get the idea, like, just because
you're a pillow princess.
I mean, no, I'm not a pillow princess by no means. Definitely not a pillow princess by no means. It's just that I think it's just something about the whole being ate out. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just certain things that I feel more confident in than I do in other things. But I'm going to get into that. Hold on a second. Let me go down through these comments, though.
That's juicy tea.
Let's see here. I'm trying to go down. Oh my God, go down here. Scroll down because I know I'm like behind y'all. He said,
Eugene, you been ate till you nutted?
He said no. He said no. You get the purple shower bag. Look, that was a whole situation, Eugene. I'm telling you, it's very, very traumatizing. Very traumatizing to say the least. Get a pink water bag. I did get the pink. I got the pink water bag. It wasn't purple. But
I got the pink one. I got the pink one too.
I did it wrong. I didn't. He said shit happened. Okay, but I did. Wait,
time out. You did it wrong. Wait, go back.
I did it wrong because, like I said, when I let it, I was laying on I called somebody and they was like, "Bitch, here's what you do. You get warm water. You let it run up in there. You lay on the bathroom floor for about so many minutes, and then when you feel like you about to sit here and poop, then you get on the toilet and you let everything just fall out and let go and let God." And that's what he told me. And that's what I thought I did. But apparently, no, that's not what happened.
Oh, okay.
That's not what happened. That's not what happened. Jasmine Divine is coming in here. Hey,
True
Jazz.
Blue.
Did I add it?
Hello, y'all. What are we talking about?
Man.
Wait a minute. He said, "Bae." Hold on, Jazz. Eugene says, "Bae, I would have embarrassed him back when we were just. I would have embarrassed him back when we were just homeless if he painted me." Ah. Look, all I'm saying is that it was my first time dushing, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And
Oh,
like
Jesus.
I said,
Are we really talking about this?
I'm just saying, Pia, here's my thing. Let me just get into this here while I'm going through these comments. People always say, "Bitch, I ain't never painted nobody. I ain't never sit here and not once stain nobody." Okay, I understand that, and kudos if you have not. However, I'm a very transparent bitch, and because of that, I have no problem with sharing my story. That
Who said that? That hoe probably don't even eat.
But I hear people say it all the time that they never ever, and it's no shade to them. It's just that with
I'm
me,
one of them ones I never have.
and I knew Jasmine was gonna say that because I know we've had this discussion. But with me, like I said, it was my first time, and it was what it was.
Jasmine, what's your technique, girl? Because this is educational. This, they don't want us to educate the children, but we need to. And I need to know, but for myself.
So what are we trying to find out? Because I came in and y'all was talking about dushing and eating and all this kind of stuff. So where are we at with this conversation so I can get ready? So catch me up to speed.
We started out by talking about why some men who are tops or whatever feel sensitive, or heterosexual men feel sensitive to having their ass, as far as their asshole touched, played with, whatever the case. Then that went into as far as me talking about my experience the first time.
Whoa! You said say what now?
Some men who are tops or heterosexual men say they don't like their assholes to be touched or played with.
Gotcha.
And so Rachel, mentioned being that he's married, said that he feels like that the way he don't like, for his wife to mess with that area either and stuff. And then that led into the conversation of me talking about, the first time, I don't know how I got into that, but the first time that I dushed, because somebody asked me a question in the comments and I responded. And I was basically letting them know that I made a mistake.
Let me go to a secret place so I can talk about this.
I made a mistake and I painted somebody by accident.
Let me join you, girl. Let me go find a spot. So Jasmine, yes, girl.
Okay, so this is the situation. Like, we just keeping it 2000.
Right.
Okay, so when you take the guilt, everyone knows. Well, I won't say everyone. If you've never bottomed before, this is what I'm getting at. Is you never bottomed before, correct?
You talking about with me or him?
No, I'm just saying in general. We're talking from a person of a place that's never bottomed before, correct?
No, because I can't. Well, you maybe because I can't relate.
Well, maybe.
To that. Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, so there's a lot of misconception that I have heard on different people's lives talking about, well, you need to get this type of dish, or you need to get this type of enema, or you need to get this type of bag, or you need to get that type of bag. First and foremost, everyone needs to understand there's no two people's bodies are the same. So with that being said, there is a couple ways that you have to. There's no such thing as a third hole, sweetie. I'm sorry, there's not. Medically speaking, there's no such thing as that's intestines.
What's the third hole?
That's like intestines.
Deep? It's intestines. Okay, so it's the stomach.
Yes. No. The intestines is actually 2.5 miles long, wrapped into your body, which consists of your large intestines and your small intestines. Your large intestines are at the top. Your small intestines are in the bottom. Your small intestines are the ones that actually connect to your anus, which is your anus sphincter muscle, if you want to look it up and be politically correct with it.
And that's okay. Right. Is that right where it kind of goes in? Is that kind of like the beginning of the
The anus sphincter muscle is the one that's at the bottom. That's where it does the cutoff, and it looks like the whole little shroomy face, or wherever you want to say. Yes. So then after that, from that hole right there to the bottom of the intestines, where the next hole is, there is 13 inches worth of space.
Oh.
While you
So
saying
within that,
I need to go take my eyeball out. I got an eyelash in my eye.
okay. So with the 13 inches worth of space right there, that's where you're hearing a lot of people saying that you need to make sure that area is clean and done correctly. There's multiple ways that you take and you do it, but you have to take and learn what's right for your body, because just because one person can take and use an enema, and or another person can take and use the pink bottle, or take and use a bottle or whatever like that, it does not always happen the same way for each person. And what you have to do is, I agree with something that I heard on somebody else's live. You need to take and invest into a what the fuck is that? I'm sorry. You need oh, okay, I know what it is now. You need to take and invest into, I would say, a 5 or 6 inch either vibrator or dildo. With that being said, I do agree with that part right there, but this is where the difference lie in. If you know you're a person that's regular, and say for instance, you know you want to take and try to do something later on, you're not going to eat a full meal, right? Or you shouldn't try to take and eat a full meal. You should try to eat something, get you a nice little sensation, but then wait an hour and a half, 2 hours. Because with me, when I eat something, hour and a half, 2 hours later, I'm trying to go take a, and release a little something.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
So if you, in the process of you taking and eating your little something, and you having whatever you're having left over, then that's the process. I'm everybody's different. This is my routine. I'm gonna put it like this, because I can't tell one person what to do with their bodies. I take and I get my either you take and do a saline solution, which I don't know if a lot of people know what a saline solution is. You take saline solution is nothing but warm water and salt. That's all it is. That's what saline is. It's a salt treatment. You can take and use that, or you can take and use warm water. You take and mix warm water, and I use an enema bottom sometimes, and sometimes if I don't use that, I use a regular dish bottle, because I like the way the head of it is.
Have you ever heard of people drinking salt water?
Huh?
Have you ever heard of people drinking like salt water?
Honestly, I don't think that's healthy for you.
Okay.
The reason why I say that is because you have to think, inside of a saline solution, it's a lot more salt that's in there. If you're doing it at home, if you're doing a home remedy type situation, you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But if, say for instance, if you're using the pink bottle, you fill it up, and some people, like, I lay in the bathtub sometimes whenever I do it, or some people I fear lay on the floor in the bathroom, or go lay in your bed or whatever like that. With anything can take and happen. So if I've just taken and had a good strong bowel movement or whatever, I'm just going to try to keep it cute. If I had a strong bowel movement, and then I take and I fill up till I feel this fullness, I may sit around, go read something, go chill or whatever like that. But then when I get the really bad inkling, maybe 10 to 15 minutes after holding it in, then I release it in the commode. And I just keep doing it until the water runs clear. And then I get...
I got a question.
That's
so
smart.
You actually hold on. So you actually are able to actually, like, once you let it run up through there, you actually able to hold it in. Like,
yeah, it's a muscle.
Right.
But you don't actually what if you just like, well, what if you like, because you know how sometimes your stomach may I don't know, just do have a mind of its own, and you just feel like, oh my God.
You have to hold it as long as your stomach allows you to hold it. If you if you're not a type of person, okay, so from what I'm hearing from you, you don't bottom that often.
No, and I'm gonna be, look, here's the thing.
Then when you don't bottom that often, you don't know that part of you that well. So you have to experiment and learn what's good for you and what's not good for you.
Right. So what I was gonna say to that, though, not to cut you off, but what I was gonna say to that is that after that situation that happened, I mentioned about 6 years ago when that situation happened with the whole dish thing, it has always kind of it was always kind of traumatized me in terms of like I've always been afraid of actually using like an actual dish like again until like I knew what the fuck that I was doing, because the advice that I was given clearly did not work, bitch. If you was out here painting Mona Lisa and shit when after you had done did it about 2 hours after the fact.
Well, that's the thing, not to cut you off. That's the thing. We all know when we're getting in the bedroom what hole it actually is for. So people need to stop trying to bottom shame and be like, this, that, and the third, because you may have some people that's 7 or 8, and you may have some people that's 10 and 11 and 12 and 13. Well, of course, if you're not used to taking and doing that kind of situation, if you want to make sure, being from a top perspective, if you want to make sure your bottom is where they're supposed to be at with you, why don't you teach them?
Right.
Each one teach one. You take the time, especially if you into this person, that's where you're building a bond and a connection. Because let's be serious, what if you are a bottom that likes to eat booty? Are you just going to take and just eat anything that you didn't take and clean? I mean, no, I don't personally do it, but I'm just saying I don't want to know smells while I'm down there playing with the boys either. So what we doing? We hopping in the shower and we taking a bath together.
Right.
Okay, you drag it. Okay, Jack. Yes.
But you know what? I'm glad. Savon, are you here?
I'm here, baby. I am here.
I walked in just like you did, Savon. I'm trying to help get the kids together.
I'm listening to.
We're so blessed by that, though. Like we are blessed to have Jasmine, Savon, teach the kids. Like we are, like you guys. Send them a motherfucking Cash App right now.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
We are because like the education system, they will always vote no to educate on LGBTQ, all that, right? So like we have, this is what we get, and we have to cherish it and appreciate and value, because we don't get it, and it's a blessing right now that we have this.
I'm just saying, after you get done, the biggest thing though is after you get done running, 2 or 3, 4 or 5 times in you, if you take and you sit and just chill for a second, like after you've done your dishing, if you take and you chill for, I say, for like good 10 minutes before you get dressed or whatever like that, you could be running you a hot bath water or whatever like that. Go and sit on the commode. If you still feel that, I'm being serious. If you still take and feel that crazy little obnoxious feeling or whatever, that like you really got to go, and you take and you push a couple times and you still see something, then you didn't clean all the way. So that's where the preparedness comes in, from you being with your top mate or whatever like that. Because in the middle of you doing all of this, you could be doing fellatio, you could be taking in, you know what I'm saying? Like it's more to it than you just taking and rushing and trying to take and let somebody boom, boom, boom. It's an art form to it.
Right. So that's the, hold on, somebody else is in the chat. Hold on a second. Oh,
I mean, okay.
I was laughing at what Xavier said. I'm sorry. I was laughing at what Xavier said.
I mean, and also you've got to remember diet. You can't have a rich diet and expect to be out here in these streets just getting plummeted. You have to take into consideration that what you eat does affect how you react afterwards. Diet is key.
That's what I'm saying too, Savon, that you have to learn your own body. Because what works for Savon is not going to work for Jasmine. What works for Jasmine is not going to work for Rachel. What works for Rachel is not going to work for me, so on and so forth. Not going to work for I am Eugene. And it's up to you to learn who you are as an individual. So while y'all quarantine right now, y'all should be learning yourselves.
Look, hold on a second.
Eugene, so we need to play with ourselves?
Eugene,
I mean, you can. I do. Shoot.
Okay.
Can you hear us, Eugene? I don't think he can
Eugene.
hear us. Can you hear us, Eugene? I don't think he can hear us. Eugene, go out. Eugene, go out and try to come back in again. Somebody
I know
say
that from
something.
personal
Somebody write
experience.
down in there to tell them to go out and try to come back in again.
We're using StreamYard, sweetheart. That's what program we use.
But
But
okay, so the question that I had, Jazz,
mhm.
the question that I had was that, you know, because this is something that I've always wanted to bring to the forefront, because I feel like a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people would see and get on here, not as far as like on my platform, but a lot of people, when I say get on here, like, you know, talk major shit as far as just in general public appearance. And they would say, you know, I ain't never, you know, as far as did X, Y, and Z, knowing good time that, you know, they have, but they just want to admit it because they're afraid of people bottom shaming them. And that's the reason why, you know, I put myself on the line by, you know, as far as, you know, saying that, yes, I have had a mistake or mess up or whatever you want to call it, because of the fact that, like I said, it was my first time as far as doing a dish thing. And I was, you know, as far as trying to make sure that, you know, I was getting all six and, you know, ready to say and do. And I thought that, you know, I was, you know, fully as far as clean and all that other stuff. But then come to find out, when I got down to doing the do, it ended up, because you know how
You was doing the do.
Well, yeah, doing the do, but you know how because you let the water sit
The
in
booty
there,
do.
it made everything already liquidy. I guess is the word I'm trying to use. So that was the reason why the accident happened, was because it made the situation, because everything had not disposed of itself. So that's why I messed up at, fucked up at. And so because of that,
You was mixing
That's why I
cement.
said. But that's why I said that you need to make sure that you are that whenever you have to question yourself, taking the extra 5-10 minutes, because it ain't gonna kill you. Just to sit and chill. And when you sit and you chill, then you take and you turn around and you place your butt back on that commode one more time, and you do yourself a good push. And you do a good old push, it's a wrap.
Gotcha. Hey, Eugene.
Hello.
With the
Hi,
go ahead. Sorry. Hey Eugene.
Rachel, Mr.
Eugene.
6'8", Miss Jasmine, Auntie. How's
Hi.
everyone? Everyone in the comments.
Hello, love.
So, honestly, we had to get into this conversation because I'm married, right? But there are a lot of people that aren't married. And during COVID-19, there are some people who still do not know how to do this properly. So I felt the conversation that we were having as a certified ass eater myself, like Craig.
Come on, certification.
Yes. I felt like there are certain times with certain people where you just, you know, you do that little check and you be like, baby, we can't even play nothing. No way, no how, not today, not tomorrow, not next week. Like, no, ma'am.
What's the check? What's the check? What, like, define what's the check? What's the check?
Sticking
Oh, you want to talk about the check?
Yeah,
so
I want to
you
talk
know,
about the check.
so
For people that don't
the
know,
checks that you keep cashing, the checks that you keep writing, sweet.
No.
Let me help you understand.
No.
Ooh, I want to say
Let me help
something
you
too.
understand that over here, I go to the bank because my husband doesn't play with checks. We make sure that they clear at all times. So don't write an NSF check you're not able to cash. Okay.
Ooh.
Understood, sir. But the check, what's the ass check? You said that you do the check to sit here and make sure that nothing is coming.
So what is the ass check? Okay, so when you get ready to eat a person's booty, right? Everybody has a different pheromone, which is what Jasmine is talking about knowing your own body. Some people can eat different things and their body gives off a different pheromone. Some people could put on a different scent and their body will give off a different pheromone. So knowing your body is key and essential, especially if you want somebody to eat your ass, right? Because I'm not finna eat no ass that don't. I'm not, even when I ate cat, honey, if it didn't smell like fresh out of the shower, some of Eve or whatever, me and my lips. Do you see how big my lips are? They were not going near anything that were.
Yes, big lips.
So I have, so with that,
so
then,
but hold on before you say that, because I got an answer for your question. So this is what I do. because I know who I am and I know my body. So, say for instance, if you are over to the house, Mister, and we was going to get ready to get into things to do. So what I would be doing is while you sitting up there and you getting you some good old nasty slap ass fellatio, I would just let you slide your hands in between them thighs, right where the that thong
And you
is, and politely move that thong to the side. And I want you to
yes,
play in it and feel how wet she gets. And
yes,
then I'll not only
ma'am.
want you to do that, I want you to bring those fingers to my lips so I can taste myself.
Now see, she a freak. She's certified. I think she could teach a couple courses.
All righty then.
That's how you properly check a booty before you eat it. If they not gonna taste their own ass, you don't want to eat it either, baby.
Because I know mine is clean.
There's logic. There's logic. There's very much logic to that.
Which
You know what?
kind
I'm
of
gonna
would
take you
bring you
one
to
more.
why you
I'm sorry.
That might be why he's uncomfortable kind of getting his ass ate, because of the uncertainty of he's just like you just told him about waiting, several minutes and exercising the muscle with the water. So if you are not sure about yourself or your body, that could prevent you from enjoying the whole experience of oral sex, especially, I'm married, but when I was the hoe that I was, especially with me.
Right.
And
Yeah, I
see,
was.
And see, the next big thing is if you so confident in who you are as a person, because I'm confident in mine, I would take the dick out and suck it a little bit more and then put it back in.
But see, I'm not good at sucking. Now, see, the one thing I'm
No,
not
I'm
good
saying
at.
for me. I'm saying for me, like you doing this, nigga, I'm gonna hop up off of it and then make you put it back
Now,
in
see,
because I know I'm clean.
I like
I'm
doing
good.
it with eating booty. Like, that's why booty got to be clean, because in the middle, I got to eat it. Like, I got to. Like, but then at the same time,
I want you
if
glistening when you
you
get done.
see,
Yes, because I'm gonna squirt on you. Period.
you
But hold on. I have a question
Yes.
though. I have one question. I want to know because
Yes, God.
I have a formula that works for me as far as when I get ready, as far as being in the bedroom, and if I know I'm getting my ass ate and everything else in between. I've learned a formula that works for me, considering everything I've been through in the past. Now,
You got to learn your body, though.
Yeah, well,
You
yeah,
got to learn your body.
But I understand that.
And know your partner or the partner that you're going to, because a lot of people when me and my husband were just roommate, because I was a ho back then.
A whole ho.
Yeah, I would tell people, if you think you clean, before you think you clean, go check again. Like, I would give this disclaimer, and I know, it's now. See, this is not bottom shaming, but bottoms have this overconfidence, especially because they are like, well, you can't hit that spot.
Right. I definitely agree with that. Savon, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
All I can say is a certain way that when you hit it, I don't care if you got 3 inches. If you hit that certain spot the right way, you gonna make rain come down on you, baby.
3 inches, girl? What they gonna do with you? Now, with the tongue in 3 inches, it might be. But you telling me that you could take and have you would be pleasured, like, sexually, with a partner with 3 inches?
No, I ain't even gonna sit here and lie. I said you can,
but there are
I ain't
some
looking for no 15 inches either.
But there are some instances where they're like 6.5 and 7, and I forgot to admit that them motherfuckers had my ass feeling things that a 9-inch cock did not, because they knew what they were doing.
So while we're talking about this, you talked about vibrators or a dildo being a good source of checking yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what size would you say or recommend to people who might watch this to check themselves before they get their ass ate or they give some ass away for the first time, so they don't make a Picasso?
Them bitches better play with the small ones first, because they need to train that muscle to loosen up.
Right.
Don't be trying to go for the gusto, girl. Work on stretching her out a little bit at a time before you would try to come Pamela Anderson, girl.
Oh,
Well,
not that
you
much
know,
Anderson. I see.
I'm like this. You know, for those people that are truly tops can understand this. You know, you have that snapback pussy.
Mm-hmm.
My husband
Like,
do.
see, that's me. Like, whenever you hitting and you doing what you got to do after you
I'm
get done
sorry.
hitting, like it's
Got
gonna
that
loosen up just a
snapback.
second, and then it's gonna, she gonna come back together. But I recommend anybody with like 6 or 7, and then but you get not the hard one. I would recommend you get actually a vibrator because it gets used to that feeling, of that penetration feeling. Because when you
So
get
a
that penetration
vibrator is
feeling,
better than
yes,
so a vibrator is better than a dildo when
yes,
checking.
because of the simple fact is that even if you're going in and out, you have a certain rhythm whenever it's a natural person. So whenever that certain rhythm is there and you're feeling that vibration, is making everything on the inside move. So that's
Oh,
an easy way to tell.
okay.
I'm saying I know
Insides
my body,
moving. Insides moving and things.
So
but
Interesting.
everybody don't know their
I
bodies.
do have one. I do have one question because I'm going somewhere with this with the question I'm about to ask.
Butt plugs are good.
What is with the baby wipes? As far as when I go over people's house, I always see them have baby wipes because I'm about to go somewhere with
You don't have baby wipes at your house, baby. You don't take care of your ass.
No, let me get some straight here. Let me get some straight. Once again, me personally, I don't like the smell of baby wipes. Every time I take
You
a
can
shit,
get the
I go and
unscented.
take every time I take a shit, I go and take a shower. Every single time. I don't care what I'm doing. I gotta take a shower.
Okay.
I don't like the smell of how baby wipes smell because I feel like that everybody's chemistry don't go with it. I don't like how it smells with mine. I don't want to smell like a baby. I want to smell like an actual man as far as with fresh, clean scents. I just don't like the baby wipes. So I'm gonna hop my ass in the shower and I'm gonna wash that whole out. That's just me.
Well,
Like
I would
agree
I
with
would
me.
agree you do that when you're having sex. However, if you took a poop and you're just going to watch television, those baby wipes are essential.
Yes.
I
Also,
but see,
So
live
every
like
time you shit, you take a shower.
yes, I'm dead ass serious.
Okay, I believe you.
Mister.
I
not in our
believe you.
That
apartment
was a good
here,
idea. That was a good idea,
but
Mister. That was a
our
good
You
house
say
in
idea.
New
what?
Orleans,
Every single time.
I live by the bidet. Like we had a
Oh,
bidet in our master bedroom in New Orleans, or master bathroom in New Orleans. And honey, baby, when I tell you, and it heated up and it like sprayed 1, 2, them bidets are the truth. Now that's what you need is that bidet what is it?
Bidet.
It's it's a certain name of it. It's like a 3-in-1. It's like
The sauna, the
it
bidet
blow
sauna.
you dry. Oh my God, it's everything. Now that's what you need.
It'll blow
Now that
me.
oh, yeah.
no,
It'll
it
dry.
blow you dry, honey. It dries you. It costs a little change, but honey, your ass comes out feeling like wonderful, and
right
you use less toilet paper.
That's an idea too.
because
But
I
what's
just
the thing with the baby wipes? You don't want to, depending on what you have on. Just say you have on white, right? Let's just use fashion for a minute. You don't want to have everybody doesn't wear the proper drawers when they wear white. You don't
Oh,
want to have a streak
oh my
because
God.
That
you're
means you ain't
out
even
with
clean it right
others.
anyway.
Hold on,
That's
no,
why
but
you need them wipes.
I'm giving why you would have a wipe. A
Yep.
lot of times it's what you're wearing and you want to make sure that you're clean. Tissue
Yep.
leaves
Yep.
residue.
dingleberries. Some people are
Mm-hmm.
hairy, so
Yep.
they get the little balls and shit. Some toilet paper,
Yep.
just cheap toilet paper, and it scratch your booty. I don't want
Yep.
my booty scratched up because I want my husband to
Yep.
eat my booty right when he wants to. I
Yeah.
want it to be nice and the way it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
And
Jesus
clean.
paid the bill.
I
Look,
definitely agree. So with that being said, with like I said, with me not being the OCD person I am, I just personally feel more comfortable because I know my poop regimen and I know it don't happen until at the end of the day when I'm home and in the comfort of my own home. I know I can
Get a
Okay.
bidet.
take the shower and
Okay,
get that
poop
nice
regimen.
and
I was
feel
gonna say, did he just say
Poop
He has
regimen.
this
Yeah,
poop regimen.
I get
But
it.
we all do. But you know what? Remember when the toilet paper crisis hit and Madison went? I would recommend going online and trying to find you one of those portable bidets. It will
Mm-hmm.
be a life-saving change for you.
Mm-hmm.
but I'm gonna say this. I only got one problem with that. And it goes back to the thing of how I felt when I first had somebody to eat me out. It's that uncomfortable, like weird feeling that you have to get adjusted to having when you're dry all over, but your asshole is wet.
Auntie, that's why I tell you he writing them checks, Auntie. That's why I'm telling you he writing them checks. He writing checks, Auntie. It's
I'm just
supposed to be
girl?
wet, honey. They hitting your tank. If they hit it right, it's good.
Say it one more time for the ones in the back.
Girl, we're gonna have to report him.
They supposed to be wet. It's supposed to get wet. It's
no, but
supposed to be moist. Their tongue is wet, and they're trying to wet your G spot, honey.
no,
That's
but
what
Unless
you
they got
want
dry
it to
mouth.
hey,
do.
but no, you mentioned the bidet. I thought you mentioned like the thing that cleans your asshole. That's what I'm talking about. Not
It
Yes.
does.
Oh,
It sprays water.
but I'm just
the
saying that
bidet. If
in
you
con-
can't
in
handle a bidet,
contrast, in
no.
contrast
Bye, I
with
love
it,
you.
it's just in contrast with it. I'm just describing as far as why I don't really care for why I didn't really care for as far as having water shot up my ass because it
Baby.
reminds me of that feeling that I had.
Baby,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna need you to leave bottling alone. Bottoming is not your ministry. I love you,
Baby.
but that's not your
Look,
ministry at
I'm just
all.
being, I'm just saying, I'm just being transparent. See, y'all, you got to keep in mind. I think when you talking to somebody that don't even use the same toothbrush every day, that should tell you the levels of just weirdness and things that I think of when it comes to that. The same reason why I don't really care for baby wipes, because I just feel like at the end of the day, you have an ass, not a pussy. Therefore, you should treat it as such. And I'm quick at telling men this. You have it.
Oh, hold up. I have a
But the baby
question.
wipes,
I'm
the
just
baby
saying.
wipes is not just for the pussy. The baby wipes are used on babies to wipe their ass and their pussy if they had one.
Thank
That's
But
you.
okay.
then I
That's
have a
true.
pussy.
That's once again, I
Girl,
tell
I'm hanging
men
up.
for me, I tell men this is an ass and not a pussy. I'm very much aware of that. With that being said, one of my good homegirls used to always say this thing: I don't care how clean you are, things can always sit here and come out your asshole unexpected, and that's just the guy.
Girl,
You have
and
a
the pussy
digestive
hole
system.
too,
That's
bitch.
true. That I definitely
You
agree.
got whole
It
fallopian
works.
tube juices and shit coming up out that bitch. It ain't no worse than shit.
That's true. That is
But
very
if
much
you ain't
true.
hitting the hole right, you ain't getting nothing out of it.
But
Oh
as far as
well.
from the
Listen,
man perspective, as far as what I have, the body part that I have, I can only speak on that. And I always say that I don't care how much cost you have, things can sit here and happen. So with that being said, for me, that's why I take a shower after I shit, because I need to know and feel confident that, hey,
Okay, shower,
I feel good
yes.
and clean. I ain't got to worry about because
Yeah.
I took a wipe back there that all of the residue is gone. That's just for me.
Well,
And
I do
toilet
think if
paper,
you're having anal sex and that you should cleanse and, get all those areas cleansed and out. You should. You can't use no damn wipes. That's whole bath type shit for
right?
those who
That's
have
what I'm talking
repetitive
about. That's all I'm
clients.
saying.
I
That's all I'm
agree.
saying. That's all I'm saying.
But
Is
when
that
you
the
at
white
work and you running from meetings to meetings, baby, them baby wipes give you life, okay?
I do have a question. Who do y'all think has the best toilet paper? Can we take a poll?
Well, I can tell you that it's definitely probably Strowman, but the only reason why
Yep.
my mom always use Scott is because she said it don't stop up your drain line. The Scott tissue don't stop up your drain line.
I
That's
like Scott's
probably why.
2-ply big roll. It's cute.
My mom buys Scots. That's what we use.
Okay, Angel
Mm.
Soft. Anybody use Angel Soft in the
Angel
comments?
Soft runs out too quick for me.
Hmm.
I
What
don't
about
know
the
if
dollar
I've
store?
ever. I don't know
What
if
about
I've
the
ever.
dollar store?
Well, the dollar store brand will work too if you got your 2 and 3 ply, and it's the big rolls. I don't discriminate as long as this shit don't scratch my ass and chafe it, girl. It's gonna be what it is. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And then during this time with Rona, honey, we had to sacrifice and work with some shit that we ain't never used before. And I was like, well, girl, this ain't that bad.
Okay.
So
Right.
when we
Long
were
as
on
one
the
ply.
hiatus, so when we were on the hiatus, did anybody like run out of toilet paper and have to use off-brand toilet paper that was hideous?
No, I didn't run out of any, but in my quest to ensure that I didn't run out of any, I did run into some Kroger brand that was one ply, and I'm still using that shit, and it is horrible.
It's
I said,
horrible.
God damn it, I never buy one ply. And this
That
shit
was the worst.
I feel like I've been using it for 3 months. I'm like,
It
girl,
was the worst.
it's
That cuda
horrible.
is not feeling it.
Oh my
But
God, and it's rough.
it is. But I will say to y'all that I am glad that we're having this conversation because one thing that I wanted to shed light on with my bisexuality is that one of the things that led to me going to a more
What you say? With your what?
With this bisexuality.
Yeah, my bisexuality. But one thing that led to me going to a more versatile side, as far as being versatile, as far as exploring other things as it pertains to women or being the top, things like that, is because of the fact that I've never, ever claimed, I've never seen him talk shit a day in my life as far as claiming that I'm that bottom that you want to sit here and slide. I've never claimed it because of the fact that, to be honest, bottoming requires a lot of work. And with me, I just have certain things that I just don't sit here and feel comfortable with because of the fact that I don't like how it makes my body feel. So the reason, so if I know that that's what I don't sit here and care for, then I said, bitch, let me just sit here and actually take a step back and find out who I am. That's one of the things that kind of led to me becoming as far as into, exploring other options to see exactly what do I like. Because I do not believe that bottoming is made for everybody. Yeah, you can bottom 1 or 2 times. Sure, you can compromise in relationships, but let's just be for real. Bottoming is not for everybody. It's not for the faint of heart, and there's a lot of thought and things that requires and goes into it, and that's what I've learned.
Tristan,
I'm not down with that.
Tristan, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Have you ever bust a nut while you was being fucked?
Yes, God, yes.
Like really without touching self? Without touching self?
Yeah. Busted a nut as far as from the front, yeah, not in my ass, no. But
without touching self.
Oh, without touching myself. Well, I mean, when I was
ain't nobody hit the walls right yet, auntie.
When I was playing with my stuff, yeah, but never as far as like somebody.
Ain't nobody hit them walls right yet, auntie.
Well, listen, they ain't hit mine right either because I ain't done that without touching self.
Am I the only one on here that has?
I mean,
I never really had my good stuff, but I did steal some trash.
If it ever happens, it's I'll be like, oh, okay. Well, now I've got to rethink some shit because, oh God, this has never happened before. Now you have raised the motherfucking bar.
So do you think that's something that you, being that you're married to my brother-in-law and my uncle, when you experienced it, do you think it'll heighten do you think that's something, a relationship goal to have that experience? Would that be a relationship goal?
I mean, it should be. I think it would be a relationship goal. I just don't think it's going to happen.
It's happened to me, but let me tell you, it can happen for you too. You just gotta ride him like okay, girl, he be like this, right? Okay, he be like this, and then you just gotta get on him like this, right? And right, so you fucking his dick, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, your balls and your dick is kind of on his tummy. So while he fucking you, it kind of like working. The friction. It's like it's rubbing. Mm-mm. It's like it's rubbing your coochie.
The friction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
While that ass is taking the dick, and let me tell you,
it's about the stroke game.
You will come.
Yeah, it's about the stroke game. You have to know how to stroke, where to stroke, and when to stroke.
It didn't happen for me like that.
Well, it ain't happened. Like the only time it's happened for me, it was when I was on top, and it wasn't the person with me. I was on top, and he was extremely flexible. So I'm riding him on top, and he was able to bend his head and body forward and suck me while I'm riding him. And that shit right there sent me over the top.
Okay, so being married, we both have experienced it with each other, to each other.
Oh,
So
that's rich.
it is, I think it's more one of those things where I really wanted and longed for my husband and every part of my husband, and I wanted to know what every part of him felt like. And I think the same for him, but I cannot actually speak for him. But we've both had that experience with each other. Those experiences are like none other because they're a euphoria of the sexual element with your partner that you get to experience, and especially when it's with the person that you love versus a random. Now, don't get me wrong, I done made a few randoms. I'm good at what I do.
Absolutely.
Okay.
When you experience it with the person that you love, it makes it all the more enjoyable to work towards, to want to do it, to want to let me get this again. Let me make it happen again. When can we make this appointment? When can we do it next?
Agreed.
So me being the legendary fat bitch that I am,
Ooh,
with
wait
a comeback.
Not legendary fat bitch. No.
So
come on,
I
trade with
had
no
it a
draws in the
couple
grocery
times.
store.
I knew y'all was going somewhere. I heard the car in the background, but I was with
the basketball shorts in the in the convenience store, looking like just good old, just a good old.
laying on the bed. And I had a pillow actually up underneath my bottom to raise me at just the right angle. And even though these thighs are big, they flexible when they need to be. So he had me held at the right angle, and he was looking at me, and I was looking at him, and he was putting in the work. And I said, "Well, damn!" And this nigga just twerked that nipple just the right time, and he got it from both ends. So I was just like, "Good God Almighty!"
Yes, my husband can separate sex from emotion. Speaking of the pillow, the sex pillow. Do you remember the sex pillow that came out? Those are the sex pillow, the one that came out with like it's in a triangle. Them are the most amazing freaking things that they invented.
Yep. I have to agree.
So my thing is, going back to Rachel when he mentioned about the friction, if that's the case with the whole not touching yourself, then I didn't have to times because there was friction involved where your dick was rubbing on something else, not just standing up in the air by itself. From that standpoint, I have seen him busted when somebody as far as was on top of me, hit me from the back of my dick rubbing on the mattress, and we just go because there's friction involved. But as far as the dick standing up by itself.
Hey, don't it feel like you got a coochie though? Don't it feel like you got a coochie?
Okay. What he means is, so let me give you
for a moment,
what
maybe
the
just for a
experience
moment.
Is. Close your eyes. Let me take you on a journey. So you're on the bed. Your leg. What's your favorite position? Doggy style, missionary, whatever your favorite position is.
Let me just try and act this out. And walk me through this bit.
So now, this is the missionary style, right? So we're in missionary, right? So as we're good Jesus, Lord have mercy. So as we're in the missionary style, huh?
What road you on?
I'm in Decatur, where it's greater at the moment.
What part of Decatur? Because ATL is my old stomping ground.
I'm in the in between part of Decatur, the in between they have and the in between they have not.
Okay. In the in between, in the upper room.
We're gonna talk about that experience. So you Rachel's there on the bed. So you got your legs spread. You're in missionary. We in missionary, right? So as you're stroking, right, as the top is stroking, there is no hands, there's no movement. Your hands are there. They're caressing you. You're caressing them, and now you're in a rhythm of motion, right? So now what they're talking about is without any other friction, You got your legs in the air. Now you're in such a euphoria that you bust without touching yourself, without anything else happening. You just bust while they stroking. That's the experience that we're asking, and we're
I've
talking.
never had ever,
Okay, yeah.
ever.
I can't recall the time. Maybe I did, maybe I forgot, but I can't recall the time. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that I haven't, but you know.
Well,
maybe
there's
one
something
day
to look forward to. Relationship goals, sweetie. Relationship.
Okay. And it's an idea now for the future, girl. Try it out.
It definitely is an idea. I was saying that's my, like I said, that's the reason why, as time has went by, like I was saying, even throw this out, I never did think a day in my life I would ever be eating anybody's ass, and it has happened.
That's a requirement.
I've tossed some. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I've everybody that I've had encounters with prior to that moment happening, I was tell them straight up as far as my do's and things that I just won't do, and that's just what it was back then. And so when the moment did come, and I actually did it, yeah, I enjoyed it, because of the fact that it left the other person, it left me feeling like I was in control and the other person powerless, and just to see this grown ass man moaning like a woman, and just he pretty much is just.
Well, I'm a lady.
So my question is, if it were a female and the female wanted you to give her oral anally, would you still have the same feeling if it were a female, because you do identify as bisexual?
I do. However, being that of what I know from the gay side of things, I would not feel too comfortable until I knew for sure that female knew what the hell as far as they had going on. Because think about it, a female is thinking about as far as cleaning their asshole.
Mister.
I'm just saying.
Mister.
What?
So I'm okay. So my requirements is to work the front and the back.
Right.
Period. So
Jasmine, your requirements are front and back?
Yes, I love for Joe to be play with, and the Miyake need to be taken care of too.
Yes. Okay.
Can you describe it? Like how can you do that, Jasmine? Please.
How do I? You don't know how to say
what does that look like? What does it look like? Is it a hand in front and
she about 8.5, 9, and so once you to the front, you just go on to the back too,
Well, look, but you experienced your experience. But what I'm saying is that for those, as far as on the straight heterosexual community side, I would not feel comfortable with hitting somebody from the back as far as anally, because of the fact that from that side of the equation is what I'm saying, that I would not.
Okay, so I would not know. So with that being said, this is the situation though. It's gonna be different from my experience with dealing with quote unquote straight guys or bisexual guys versus with you is going to be completely different. Because first and foremost, they're going to not only see the illusion, they're going to smell the illusion, they're going to taste the illusion, and they're going to physically see the illusion. And the illusion is given off as a female quality. Okay, so with that being said, I wouldn't have I haven't had thus far. I have not ran past any guys that I have not been able to. They say at first, "Hey, I don't do the front," but by the end of the session, they're doing the front and the back.
Right. That's why.
And then some of them, some of them try to get you to do the whole pegging thing with them, and I'm like, that's not my style.
And that's the reason why I say I never say never to something, because like I said, I've been through that before to where it's happened. Hold on, let me go out. Let me go out, because I don't think I can hear, because I see Eugene's mouth, but I don't think I can hear.
Leah, that is true. I was married to a female before I was married to a male.
I want to share something very personal.
Okay,
go ahead, baby.
It was a sexual position I tried.
Oh.
So and it was
Hold on.
great.
Do I
Let me
need a
tell
cigarette
you.
for this? Do I need a cigarette for this? Because it sounds like it's gonna be good.
Why not, girl? Okay, we was on the bed. Okay, and wifey's on the bed, on her back, because she's a pillow queen. And then I'm like, okay, I wish I had. Okay, so I'm like this on the
Use
bed.
the pillow. Use the pillow. Use the pillow as the wifey.
Okay, here, wifey,
Okay.
and I'm like this,
Okay.
right? So
Right.
here's what I did, because my knees be like, just I don't know the angle or something, you know, like I want a different angle. I want a more like a.
I did. I married it. I'm listening,
Okay,
Rachel.
follow me, follow me. This is what I did, girl. My lazy ass grabbed a chair. I put wifey on the edge of the bed, and I said, I scoot wifey,
Rachel.
and I said, get that ass over a little off the edge of the bed. I want the ass to hang off the edge, you know.
Rachel, you did not sit your ass in that chair and fuck wifey. You are not gonna
Girl,
tell me.
I put the chair right here, and I was like,
That's a fun move right there.
Did the chair fall? That's all I want to know.
Girl.
Did the chair fall?
You know it.
I
At least once.
bust so fucking hard, bitch. I tell you.
We have had some excursions over the years. Mind you, I've been married like 4 years, and we've been together for like I don't know how long, and we were friends before that. So the experiences are vast. I think my favorite one was probably one of our trips to New Orleans. Before we moved to New Orleans, but yeah. So yeah, but I think
And see that's
what so who what? Somebody saying something.
no, what I was gonna say is that I think that's the reason why I enjoy relationships, because you're able to experience those experiences with, you know, as far as the individual that you love. With me, I've never had a chance to actually, as far as get to that point, to have that longevity of a relationship and experience, you know, as far as those wonderful experiences, because of the fact that, you know, you first trying to, as far as sort out with the emotional and love side of the equation, for you can even see and get to the years of where you just, you know, you become comfortable with the other person. Because I also do feel like that, like you said, it plays a part in who you actually are with, and as far as understanding, you know, that you're comfortable with one another, with doing, you know, a lot of things that you may not just say even do outside of your relationship, as far as if you was a single man.
You bring me to a good point. A lot of times once you're married, I can speak from us going from roommates to boyfriends to engaged to married, right? Each relationship is different, and you have to have a conversation for a successful relationship. I can say this because this was one of the mistakes we made. We didn't have a conversation with each other about the change from roommates to boyfriend, from boyfriend to fiance, from fiance to husband, and what is okay, what isn't okay, what is acceptable, what's changed. What we did do once we got married is we have the annual review. As crazy it may sound, we know that it's forever, but we might not like each other that year. We might have, it's like a progress report. You fucked this up, I fucked that up, but we're gonna stay together, and this is what we need to work on. Sexual, I think our very first year, honestly, sex before we were married, sex was amazing, and then like once we got married, we went through that phase of no sex whatsoever. So
Ooh, somebody hit a dry dick.
So it's one of those things where you do want to have those conversations about the changes that you might like a different type of porn. Like for me right now, my husband knows that I watch trans man porn. Like it turns me on, but it's something that I had never watched when we were roommates. But I feel comfortable enough with my partner to share that type of information.
You said you like trans man porn. What is
That's
it with
what's
y'all
up.
and pussies and hard chests and
Okay,
pussies?
My thing was hold
so
on, y'all.
so I'm
It's
just gonna
just
be
two of
honest,
us.
right? I'm gonna be honest, right? The masculinity of a trans man on the outer appearance is like everything, right? I'm an ass man. So the first one I saw happened to be, see, that's God saying
Ray
yes.
Dashley.
No. Um it was this guy named Jaden or Jay. He was African American and it was a kept secret. And
I know who you talking about.
baby, the cakes
That's
on
my
that
husband.
thing was everything to me. And it just, I had to go in the bathroom and just like kill myself a few times. And I was like, babe,
Did you
look
say
at
kill
you.
yourself a couple times?
A couple times, honey. A couple times out there, 2 minutes, like, oh, this is really intriguing. So I had to get comfortable enough with myself to be able to go to my husband and say to my husband, hey, I started watching trans man porn, which is different, something that he would have never known. But because we have that type of trust and that type of relationship that I feel comfortable with my partner to explore my sexuality and be truthful about it, we're able to be a lot more freer with ourselves with each other because I know the likes. We can role play because we know what each other likes and we talk about these things. So we do and are able to have those handless experiences.
That's sweet.
Yeah, that's
Jasmine, shut up.
that's the thing that I hope as far as to
What?
be able to have that open transparency with talking as far as to my future partner if it ever comes to fruition.
Well, if
And
you
just
stop
being
trying to be so damn fast and you keep throwing a hoe away, then maybe you'll get it.
Are you ready?
look.
Are you really ready for a relationship? Do
No,
you
he ain't.
understand how much work a relationship is?
So
Like
He
I'm
ain't ready.
right
no,
now, honestly, right?
I'm gonna
Where
give
you
you a
are.
fair. I'm gonna give you a fair answer. I'm gonna give you a fair
Hold on,
For
response.
this
let me
one, what?
finish my question. Right now, with where you are and the direction that you see where your life is going, do you feel like you're ready to intertwine your life with somebody that's on a whole different path than what you see in a direction that you're going? And are you willing to compromise in the halfway mark to meet them halfway?
So what I would
Who is
say to
he?
that,
He,
what
her,
I would
them, him.
what I would say to that though is that I do not feel like I'm at a point where I'm ready for a relationship. However, I am definitely ready for a friendship of consistency and just actually having as far as the consistency of everything as far as flowing because that's something that I have lacked in previous as far as situations because of the fact that a foundation has to be established before you can actually get to that part of getting to a relationship. So I am comfortable with having a friend. By friend, I mean that look, I'm not saying that we can't do X, Y, and Z. All I'm saying is that there are just things that I would prefer to focus on more than just sex, as far as us understanding one another on an emotional, physical, as far as mental, like just getting to know that person as far as who they are. And then once you actually, as far as, go from that stage into the relationship, then from that point, you can say, okay, maybe this is somebody that I do want to spend my life with. Let's just sit down and have a conversation. And the reason why I feel like this approach is for me is because of the fact that I don't feel like that when people say, oh, well, let's just go with the flow organically and see where things go. For me, this don't work for me. It's just I've done it before. It has not worked for me. So that's why I've come to as far as grips that I need to know as far as understanding who I'm with. I need to understand as far as who that person is as a person, as vice versa, because there's a lot that comes with as far as being with me also. And I've also been very vocal about it as well from a health standpoint. Yes, I deal with sickle cell anemia. Yes, that brings
Oh
on
yeah.
challenges. And yeah, I've had time to think about that. Okay, this is not for everybody. Some people are not equipped mentally and emotionally to deal with that, because a lot comes into play. Just say, for instance, if it ever came time to where, you know, I wasn't feeling well, I can't sit here and be out here dropping it low, riding dicks and doing all this other stuff, because I just ain't sitting here feeling it, because my body is just not up for that that what you would call the physical, you know, and what you would have to, you know,
Energy.
need in order, right, and to be able to withstand that, because it will, you can't be sent into a crisis through sex. Like it's a known fact for a sickle cell, so you know that's just something that comes with the territory.
Yeah.
And I've had it happen one time in my life. So with that being said, you know, I do feel like that I definitely want a relationship, but it definitely has to be on the right terms, as far as like there has to be some understanding. Can you hear me? Because I know sometimes when people come in and come
So
out, I can't.
if you were to come hands free, would that work?
If I was the who?
If you were to come hands free, like if you had your legs open, he was hitting it and he was rubbing on that coochie, and it like, and you came hands free, would that be okay?
Stupid.
I mean, look, let
I'm
me tell you,
serious.
I've had times, I'm not even gonna lie, I've had times to where I have been so screwed up, literally, and when I say literally, I mean, you know, in the middle of fucking telling somebody that I love you, knowing damn well that that's not the case, because you know you get caught up in a moment, and you know shit just slip out, and you know you get to looking at that person's eyes, and they just looking at, like I had a guy that was such an intense stare. It was just something about the way a person is looking at you as they're fucking you, that just it did something to my
Oh,
soul.
say it again. Say it one
I
more time.
can't
It was
speak.
a what?
It's I mean, it's just the way he looked at me. Like he was looking at me as if he was looking at the depths of my soul as he was going in and out of me. Like he
Was
was
he
just
in the
like
depths of your
Well, he was
soul?
like,
he he
yeah, bitch, you fucking my bitch
you
now,
know
hoe.
what?
Oh, fucking that
Even though
pussy good, hoe.
even though I like that dirty talk, I'm gonna be honest. Even though I like that dirty talk, but he wasn't even talking. It's just that he was looking at me with just such intense stare, like you know, like I'm looking, like I have you in my possession. You know, you are mine, and it's just was, I don't know. It was just that trend.
This pussy mine, like this pussy
Yeah,
mine.
So
like
there is a certain thing in sex called soulmates. I can speak, and I got an interview with Jasmine, so I got to keep some of the shit cute because I
Yes,
got
you
to
do.
relax. I
Because
got
I'm
a
gonna
whole
be very
interview.
ghetto if you don't.
So, I'll speak to what you just said about. I'll speak to what you said about things slip out in sex. One of the transitions, because I really, when we first started having sex, really meant that I loved him, and he was like, "Prove it." I've heard that before. Prove it. I mean, granted, years later, so I guess I proved it. Question: Xavier and Eugene, you guys started out roommates. What the hell was the turning point for you two to take the relationship to another level? P.S. I think Savon is asleep. We were friends. We met. We chilled. Scandal was on kind of when we first met, so we were doing scandal parties at each other's houses and stuff like that. I will get into a little bit of that with Jasmine. I won't go deep into that because that's a whole nother conversation. But the turning point was I really, one Thanksgiving Day, God had told me that was my husband. And the day I met him, and this one day, it was Thanksgiving. I'll never forget. We had just moved to New Orleans. I had lined up ass from New York, New Orleans, Atlanta. All of them was coming in town. I knew who house I was eating at. I knew everywhere I was going.
Okay.
And something just told me before I walked out the door to go hit that first piece of booty. Something asked him. And I asked him, I was like, hey, yo. So I said, hey, yo, what do you think about dating? And he literally turns and says, out of 3 years of saying no, literally 3 years of him saying no, he turns around and says, you know what? Why not? So I got people that then flew in. I got ass in hotels waiting, and now I can't go out. I'm livid, and it's Thanksgiving. So that was really the turning point, because he saw something kind of in me that I had made the necessary changes to be able to handle a relationship, because his constant words to me prior to saying yes was, you're just not ready yet. Not that it's a never, but you're not ready. And I had to really take time out to work on myself to really kind of boost my own confidence, my own, say my own worth, my own value. And a lot of times in relationships, you get intertwined and you become the other person, and you get wrapped up in you're trying to please them. My husband was very much, if you can't do what you need to do for you, you damn sure can't do what you need to do for me. So until you could do what you need to do for you, we can't even have this conversation. So when I think he felt that I could do what I needed to do for me to be successful for me as myself, that's when we kind of made the turning point to engage. And then honestly, the marriage, I'll say that for the show, because that's actually kind of
oh my god.
So that, and that's the reason why I say that everybody has their own path when it comes to how love is developed, because as I've stated before, when I've come across men, as far as talking to men, and they look at me crazy now because I make, it's a statement that I've stuck to, and I'm still gonna stick to it, and I make it be known. I'm like, look, if we gonna get to know each other, these are things that cannot happen, because when you know that you've used things in the past as a replacement or substitute, as something to fill a certain void, you have to be very, I would say, mindful always. Even once you arise from all of that in the past, you have to be very mindful of how you, as far as come across, as far as how you are with the person that you're actually getting to know. So, I have boundaries that are set. I'm like, look, we need to, like I said, establish things, get to know one another. But as far as sex and intimacy is concerned, those are just lines that I cannot cross at a particular point until some things are established. And that's why, in response to your question, when you asked me about am I ready for a relationship, that's why I said that what I am ready for is, as far as having that consistency with someone to actually get to that point, to actually get to the relationship, level. But as far as the relationship itself, no, because of the fact that I've done things so wrong, and I take accountability for that, as far as in my past with how I pursued with trying to go about, when it comes to relationships and love. And I've tried to, as far as, jump the bandwagon, or, this may have happened too soon, or that may have taken place too soon. And a lot of people would tell me, and I always say, if more than one person tell you something, you might want to start reevaluating, like, it's been just some truth to that. And I had people to tell me that, look, you jump into stuff way too fast. You need to take a step back and just, pace yourself and allow yourself to get to know the person that you're trying to actually be with. Don't just sit here and be hopping because, they telling you everything that they think that you want to hear, and everything seem all good. No, pace yourself. Don't let go of anything. Pace. That's the key word. Pace yourself.
I'm going to say this, which is going to kind of not contradict, but complement what you just said. First, you have to fall in love with you. My husband did not say yes to me until I loved me enough for me, regardless of him or not. Right. And once I was in love with me, because that booty was lined up, honey. And I knew it was lined up because I had got confident enough in myself to line it up. And then all of a sudden there was a change. So you attract what it is that you give out. A lot of times when we're looking for relationships, in what you just said about baggage and stuff from other stuff, people need to take the time to actually completely heal and literally heal, because you can't take that baggage, because there's going to be a lot of times people attract similar things, and there's always lessons in those. And you don't want to repeat those same lessons, and we don't take the time to heal and learn the lesson that we need to learn in order to either make what we need to right. Because a lot of times I had to go back and I had to correct a lot of things with a lot of people, because karma is a bitch and she comes stronger and harder than you could imagine. And there are other times where I just felt, especially when I really wanted to date him, like I really, really like, why not me? Why I'm not good enough? Why, everything was about him. Everything was about trying to prove that I really loved this person that much. Don't lose the best thing I can say is don't lose who you are or your identity of yourself trying to prove your love for anyone, because you should love you that much that the love you have for yourself attracts them to you, and not the other way around. And then you find your soulmate, because that's literally what it is. Like, we know the schedules easy, but those are things.
Because you'll make time. Trust me. People always say, "Well, I ain't got time." No, trust me. You'll make time for somebody that you really want to make time, and you'll find time. Trust me. No matter how busy you are,
to
you'll
be
find
single
time.
too. It's really okay.
You want to be single.
Have that perspective of a single person as well. There's nothing wrong with that either.
Learn yourself. Take the time to learn yourself. Take the time to get to know yourself. Take the time to turn yourself on, to find out what you do like, what you don't like. Like, take that time. A lot of times we don't take enough time to ourselves to learn it. And one of the things, even in our marriage, that when we are home in New Orleans, we have our separate quarters. We take personal time. I'm typically in my office most of the day. He's typically in the studio most of the day. So we have separate time, and then we come together, and then we're one. So the confidence that one has in the other, that's every so what you want in him, but actually waited for him to work in himself. I don't know. He's right here. Okay, so you gonna answer that question? The question is, Xavier, so you wanted him, but actually waited for him to work on himself. Alex Vander Bloom is asking that question.
No. Hey y'all. Hey, hello. Hey, how you doing? What's up?
Hey there, what's going on?
And I say no because time waits for no one. So I'm a firm believer in, if the opportunity is there, you take it. And if you don't feel that you're equipped for it, let it go.
Good night,
there's no need in wasting. There's no need in wasting your time or somebody else's time when you know you're not ready for it. If you can't handle what comes along with everything that's going, come together, when you come together as one, what's the point?
Right, exactly. I definitely agree.
No, and that's my whole mindset was, I want you to be good for you. Don't make these changes and work on yourself for me or nobody else. That need to be for you, because even if we're not together, you need to want to be the best you can be for whoever you with.
Right. Yeah. And I've had people, even with myself, I've had people to tell me that, the last guy that I tried to date, I never will forget. I was at a point to where, and this also just goes back to a short story with how sickle cell works, because it works if you don't learn how to maintain your stress levels, if you don't learn how to maintain your body, understanding what triggers stuff, you would end up in the hospital. So long story short, I kept ending up in the hospital, and the guy was like, look, he said, something else is going on. The reason why you keep getting sick, something else is going on. He was like, I'm gonna need for you to figure out, because he said, what I see right now is a broken man. And he just told me straight up, he was like, I see a broken man, and I can tell that you've been hurt. There's been some things you haven't healed from. And he was like, you know, I would love to be with you, but he was like, at the same time, I just think that you just have not healed from some things, and you need to actually take that time and really just figure out, like, you know, what it is that Tristan wants, because it's obviously that you're not happy right now. Like you're not satisfied with your life. And you know, that was the best piece of advice that somebody could have ever given me, because like I said, I, you know, always was the person that, you know, oh, I'm good, I'm fine, put together, that's great, I'm good, but never wanted to admit that, you know, maybe there are issues that I have to deal with. You know, maybe there are things I need to work on, and so that's why, you know, I do appreciate you for saying it, because if somebody do care about you and they care about your well being enough and love you enough, that is a person that, you know, will move themselves out the way to say, hey, I like you. I want to be with you. I think we would be great. However, you got some things you need to work on. Point blank, period.
And
Like,
even it honestly, and it starts back at you. You have to be able, in accountability, it's not just okay to just be accountable. But once you're accountable for it, what is the change you're going to make?
Right.
So do you want to respond to that? I see somebody asked you a question.
Well, it was more like a
no, the thing was, it wasn't about, okay, hold on. And then he asked, why not? So does that mean you were ready?
Well,
thing is, I'm not a respected person. If you're showing interest in me, that's great. That's fine and dandy.
Right.
But first, I have to evaluate myself to say, am I ready for it? Where I was when we originally met, I wasn't in a place where I wanted to change who I was.
Right.
I got accustomed to everyone that I encountered with like that I was in a relationship with, or just even my friends, my circle. My circle would, they're just like me.
Right.
So we're able to interact and we get each other instantly. But relationship wise, most times I was with someone that totally understood me. And I'm was that person like, well, if you don't get me, I'm just not for you. Oh, well, let's move on.
Right. Let's move on. Right.
No hard feelings, because I'm very cut and dry.
Right.
So, and it's no hard feelings. It's just, it's life. It is what it is. But if I see something in you, and I can tell you at that point where I was not looking to change who I was, that's why I say, no, you're not ready. Because if I stay the exact same person that I am right now for the rest of my life, and I change nothing about me that you don't like, you have to be willing to deal with me exactly as I am.
Right.
I know you are not in a place to handle that. I'll walk all over you. I'll run over you. I'll say what I want to say, and you're going to be in your feelings 24/7.
Right. Yep.
When I made the change to say, I don't like certain things about me, yeah, I see where I can be a little harsh. I am a little rough around the edges. I'm ratchet as fuck. But I have to learn how to communicate with people that aren't like me.
Did you say you ratchet?
Yeah, I really am.
I don't get that. You seem like you're so sweet.
Looks can be deceiving.
I know.
Thing is, being in the music industry, you have to learn how to pull it up. Pull yourself together. I know how to articulate words very well. I just don't like to. I like to cuss.
Who you telling?
That's who I am. But I that's a part of changing though, and growing, transitioning into who you want to be. I self-evaluated, saw shit I just did not like about myself. But okay, no, you can't deal with it because I can't deal with it. So as I change in me, I'm also seeing the change in you. You're working, you're trying. But why are you trying?
Yep. I definitely agree. And I'm glad, you know, that we have these discussions, because I do feel like that they're very necessary, because sex, relationships, all of that goes hand in hand. And when it comes to understanding people, understanding who they are internally, understanding who they are physically. And I know we have some of us who are in here who are single, like me and Jazz, and we have others that are married, and
I'm
it's just
single by
good.
choice. I've been
Well,
on a
and that's
celibate, like, all right,
and it's
I'm
And
just
there's
fine.
thinking
nothing
though,
wrong
like,
with
real
that,
quick,
Jazz.
like, I've been doing my,
Honestly.
I was in a bad relationship, so I took 5 years off for me. I've been celibate the whole time too. So, it's different for me because mine's is not only was mine's on the spiritual tip, but mine's was on the healing tip too. And if people can't, I completely understand um, when Eugene and when Xavier was talking about making sure that the person is ready, because I'm at a point that I feel like I'm ready, but I'm not rushing into anything either, because if you don't know yourself, how can you share yourself with anyone else if you don't know yourself?
Right. I definitely agree.
And I will say this, and this is my right hand to God. Well, I ain't got to do all that. The day I met Xavier, he came to my car, he opened the door, and we were just meeting, and I said, God said you're my husband. Almost 3 years to the exact date that I met him, we got married. After he no for 3, that is all that I will give you, Alex. But I will say, in relationship goals, it's one of those things where I just don't want to be with anybody. I didn't want to be with just in any relationship. I really wanted to be with my soulmate. I asked God literally for my soulmate, the person who was going to complete me, that I would complete, that we could actually be 100% for each other. We're not 50-50 in our relationship. We're 100-100, because there are days that I can only give him 1%, and there's days that he can only give me 27%. And we have to be able to still give 100%, because we're mentors, because we're business owners, because we're examples to other people. And so we still have to maintain 100% at all times. And that's because we are truly soulmates. So it wasn't just I wanted a boyfriend, or I just wanted a husband, or I just wanted somebody to have sex with. Great, amazing. But that could be anybody. Hell, I could pay for sex and nut as many times as I want to, as long as I pay for it. And in Switzerland right now, Leslie Jordan say the only thing you could do is cowgirl and cowgirl, because they still selling it over there doing COVID. But in that, it was, I wanted somebody that understood who I was, my purpose, that would drive me, that I would compliment and that complimented me, not just somebody that had a nice ass, or that the sex was great, or the fact that my husband, technically when I met him, was a celebrity. I didn't want to be in the spotlight. In all actuality, I wanted to go into politics. And because I wanted to go into foreign politics, it kind of we had to have conversations. So there's another thing. That's why I asked you, if you weren't on the same level, are you willing to compromise in a relationship? Because when we met, he is an independent artist. We have a independent artist radio station. I did not want to be a CEO of a radio station. I wanted to be a ambassador in the United Nations, which means he would have to have security 24/7. And he was like, hell the fuck no. So of course I went away my own way of doing what I wanted to do. But that's why I say you have to have those kind of conversations and be able to and willing to compromise in those things. So
I feel like that's definitely the message that I would like to take away from this tonight is just learning how to compromise. And if I could take away, it would be learning how to compromise and finding somebody that compliments you and being patient, foremost, as far as when it comes to the quest of love itself, because it's out there. It's just that everybody has their own time, and when it happens, for everybody. And that's one thing that I've had to learn. But I do appreciate everyone for coming on this after show. I didn't want to keep it too long, so we right at 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm ready to go to sleep.
Yeah. Do we have any closing remarks, Jazz? Got any closing remarks you want to say?
The only thing I have to say is don't forget, y'all, coming up tonight at 8 o'clock, I do have the cool down. Um, we're gonna have a whole bunch of hot topics. You know, we have the what news and what's that song. So, and then don't forget, coming up on Tuesday, the 23rd, I do have the privilege of introducing my platform to I Am Eugene, and eventually, it's going to be something hot. So I think that everybody's going to enjoy that one. And yeah, I got a lot of things that's coming your way. So I hope and pray y'all are looking out for me because I'm coming with guns blaring. And I'm glad to see you're back working now, babe. So,
All righty then, Rachel. Thank you.
I just want to say thanks for a good show. This is a great conversation. To Jasmine, thank you. We got a lot of great information and talking about relationships, sex, singleness, not being single. My wife, as a matter of fact, was single for 10 years before we met, and I was single for like a few months, not that long, but. It's just like I respect like people that are single. I respect that. Like that's a whole perspective that shouldn't be, I guess, stigmatized. Being single is not a bad thing, but also if you happen to find true love, like, amen, praise God, you found him.
And then you also have I'll let because I know Xavier, you all are doing an interview with Rachel. Is you on Silent X Radio,
yes,
right?
and my wife too. You guys are gonna meet my gorgeous wife Gina, and that'll be on Silent X Radio with Eugene. And Xavier, come on now, boss. Hey, boss.
Oh, one more thing before I get off of here. I will be giving y'all a call tomorrow, Eugene. Okay. So, I'm gonna reach out to y'all probably at like 5 or 6, something like that, to give y'all time to get situated and stuff. Because there's a couple of things I want to touch bases with y'all on. Okay. If that's okay, cool. I just thought I was just,
And Xavier, Xavier Eugene, do y'all have any last remarks you want to make?
Well, I'd say just to keep in mind, compromise and settling are two totally different things.
Okay.
And you have to be careful to identify what it is and call it for what it is.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because a lot of times we settle and we call it compromise.
Right.
There's a big difference.
I like that.
Because you can't forget that you are an individual in a relationship. So you can easily fall into you're both doing the same things. Okay, so now it's kind of like you feel that you like the same things, but no, you don't. You're trying to figure out what can we do together.
Right.
You introduce them into your world, and you be willing to be introduced to their world, and you develop things together. So you really understand what you like, what you don't like. Okay, I can bend on this, but I won't break.
Gotcha. I like that.
I will close by saying thank everyone for watching. I am Jay Eugene. I am the co-chairman and the CEO of Silent X Radio. Silent X Radio will be launching officially on July 8th. If you are interested in possibly hosting or co-hosting a show, you can feel free now to go over to www.silentx.com. You can get in contact with us that way, or you can go to silentx@gmail.com, do your video interview. Everybody goes through the same process as we are launching in a couple of weeks. We have Urban Hippie Edibles. If you are a medical marijuana user, that is legal in your state, because we do want to promote being legal. You can get in touch with Urban Hippie Edibles on IG at Urban Hippie Edibles, and find out all the products that we have. And officially Tuesday, the new product does come out, and it's for the summertime, and it's lit, and everybody's going to be excited about it. I will be with Jasmine up there on Tuesday, and she's probably going to be the first person that I ever in life let interview me, and probably the last person I let in life interview me. Because my husband is the superstar, and I let him hold that lane. I just, yeah, he is the superstar. He can sing, I can't. I just know how to run business real good, so I stay in my lane. And so, with that being said, to each and everybody during this global pandemic, I hope that each platform that you are going to gives you some sort of education, strength, laughter, joy, and whatever you need to get through this time. I love you. We love you. We're out.
Thank you. We love you too. I'm out
Well,
too.
y'all,
Good night,
thank
y'all.
you all, and I appreciate it. And until next time, we will see you all later, my fun sizes. Peace out.
I'm
Love
not
y'all.
fun size. I'm very much plus size.
Bye. See y'all.
bye. Period, ho. Y'all made me cry. Oh my God, y'all made me cry. Eugene